and welcome to BBC News. I'm Andrew Healy, and this is our special on the tsunami in Japan. We are now joined by Jack Johal, our correspondent in Fukushima, and he's going to give us more information on what's happening there. So Jack, what's happening?
Thanks Andrew, yes, I am in Fukushima, where 3 nuclear reaction blasts have happened after the 9.0 magnitude tsunami and earthquake that happened in Japan. Technicians are battling to stabilise a 3rd reactor of the quake-stricken Japanese nuclear plant that's been rocked by a 2nd blast in 3 days. Seawater is being pumped into the reactor at the Fukushima Daiichi plant after its fuel rods were fully exploded twice. International nuclear watchdogs said there was no sign of a meltdown, but one minister said a melting of rods was highly likely to be happening. The crisis was sparked by Friday's 9.0 magnitude quake and tsunami. Thousands of people are believed to have died, and millions are spending a 4th night without water, food, electricity or gas. More than 500,000 people have been left homeless. Thank you, Andrew.
So Jack, have you heard from any of our other reporters?
Thanks again, Andrew. I have not heard from George Jessen, Greg Benson or Joseph Gandhi. Last time I heard from them they were in Ochasochi. We will take a minute's silence for them at the end of this news report. Yes?
Thank you, Jack. I will now fill you in on the basics. A huge tsunami spawned at the magnitude of 8.9 quake, one of the largest recorded in Japan, killing hundreds of people according to the Associated Press. Within hours the tsunami hit Hawaii and set off warnings throughout the Pacific, including South America, Canada, Alaska and the US, such as the Oregon coast, and the AP reported, a tsunami is a series of great waves caused by an underwater earthquake, landslide or volcanic eruption. More rarely, tsunami can be generated by a giant meteor impact with the ocean. Scientists have found traces of an asteroid collision event that they said would have created the great tsunami that swept around the Earth several times. An earthquake generates a tsunami if it is sufficient force and there is a violent enough movement on the seafloor to cause substantial sudden displacement of a massive amount of water. A tsunami is not a single wave, but a series of waves. Tsunami waves can be as long as 60 miles long and as far as 1 hour apart. They are able to cross entire oceans without great loss of energy. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami travelled as far as 3,000 miles to Africa, arriving with sufficient force to kill people and destroy property. And now we're going over to Lewis, where he's going to fill us in with the short-term and long-term responses in Tokyo.
And thanks, Andrew. And I found one of our colleagues, George Jessen, who was supposedly lost in the tsunami.
Yes, Lewis, I'm here.
And today we will be talking about the short-term and long-term responses, and George will start us off with the short-terms.
CAFOD and Red Cross have started handing out water bottles, food and shelter for the elderly and people that have been survivors of the earthquake and tsunami. And they're still looking for people. And here are the long-term responses from Lewis.
Okay, the long-term responses is the industry has gone down, in the Asian industry has gone down 2.2%. And also, many people's houses and cars and all personal possessions have been destroyed in the tsunami, but not in the earthquake.
That is our special report on long-term and short-term responses.
Back to you, Andrew!
Thanks, Lewis. And that's all we have time for in this Japan special of BBC News. Hey Brooke, I need to go powder my nose.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm in Fukushima, where 3 nuclear explosions have happened in the I'm getting rings. Oh, one new message. Anyway, back to the camera.
That's fine. Emily, I don't want to waste your credit yet. Call me back in another 5 minutes. Wait, how much more do I have to say? You recording this?
You know I am.
How much was I have to say?
2 minutes. Let me just see. Let me see.
Let me speak for you. I'll speak for you.
Okay, you can talk to George for 5 minutes.
Oh yes, I get to talk to someone I don't know. That's awesome.
I know. What
Hello.
You should have gave it to me, I could have like.
Hello. I think you hang up on me.
Did you?
Thanks, Andrew, and I found our little reporter, George.
Oh, wait, I forgot what I was going to say. Now we are buoyant.
Thanks again, Andrew. No, I haven't heard anything from George Jessen, Lewis Powell or Greg Benson. The last time I heard from them, there was though all three of them were in Ochisochi. That was where the tsunami and earthquake was worst felt. It's joking now. Go back. We don't need the. We don't.
Which is technically good.
Gag. Cat front. Okay,
Still doing.
You got some cat craze.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You guys, I'm gonna stand behind. And I'm in Fukushima right now, where the nuclear plants have just. Stop!
Thanks, Lewis. And now that's all we have. Put your thumb up at me. Still rolling?
Yeah, don't worry, I'll cut this bit out, it'll be fun.
Wait, so how do I start it?
I will now fill you in with the basics.
I will now fill you in with the basics. In the light of Friday's tsunami following the Japan earthquake. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense.
You gotta look at the camera.
Well, that's a question. That's a question.
Read, just don't be a dumbass and just think with your
That's a
feet.
question.
Just read it then.
Now we are joined by a correspondent, Jack Joe. Stop moving! Go away! Go away! Now we are joined by Jack Johal, our correspondent in...
Go, say it, Andrew, quick.
Oh,